And we're moving on to Module 7, Triangles and Pythagorean Theorem. So we are starting on, okay, sorry about that. We're starting on page 381 with angle relationships and parallel lines. Okay, so here we go. These are parallel lines. So parallel lines are lines that do not intersect, okay? So down here, pairs of angles can be classified by relationships to each other. A special case occurs when two lines intersect in a plane to form right angles. These lines are perpendicular lines. So if two lines make right angles, and the way you write perpendicular is with an upside down T. So these are perpendicular lines. These two right here are perpendicular lines. Okay. Now, these two lines in the plane never intersect. They are considered parallel lines. A line that intersects two or more lines in a plane is called a transversal. So this one right here is the transversal, and these two are the parallel lines. Now, parallel is written like this. When you are drawing a picture and you want to say that they're parallel, you put little arrows on them so that you can tell. They're called arrowheads, are used to indicate parallel lines. Okay. Next, when a transversal intersects two parallel lines, there are, I should change colors, 8 angles are formed. 4 of the angles are interior angles, and that's in between the parallel lines, and then 4 exterior angles lie on the outside. So the inside, these are the interior angles because they're between the two lines. Okay, so that means we have angles 3, 4, 5, and 6. Okay, exterior angles. So they're on the outside of the parallel lines. Okay, so angles 1, 2, 7, and 8. When two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, there is a relationship between the angles that are created. Okay, the angles in certain angle pairs, alternate interior angles, alternate exterior angles, and corresponding angles have the same angle measure. So we'll say that again. If you get alternate interior, alternate exterior, and corresponding, they have the same angle measure. So, alternate interior angles are interior angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. So if you look at this, our interior angles are 3, 4, 5, and 6. You see this and this. One arc mark. Those two angles are on alternate sides, so opposite sides of the transversal, and they're on different parallel lines. Those angles are equal. Now, if you look at the size of the angle, they're both obtuse angles. Okay, they're obtuse. If you look at these, it has 2 arc marks. Those are both acute angles. They are also congruent to each other. They have the same measure. So angle 4 and 6, the measure of angle 4 and the measure of angle 6 are equal. The measure of angle 3 and the measure of angle 5 are equal. Then we have exterior angles. Okay. So on the exterior, alternate exterior angles are angles that lie on opposite sides of the transversal. So 1 and 7, look, they both have one arc mark. So 1 and 7 have the same angle measure. Angle 2 and angle 8 have the same angle measure. Now, corresponding angles are those angles that are in the same position on two lines in the relation to the transversal. So as I look at this, okay, this is how I like to do it. This is in the top left-hand corner of that parallel line. This is in the top left-hand corner of that parallel line. This is in the top right-hand corner. This is in the top right-hand corner. This is in the bottom left. This is in the bottom left. And then last, bottom right and bottom right. So angle 1 and angle 5 are equal to measure of angle 1 and angle 5 are equal to each other. The measure of angle 2 and the measure of angle 6 are equal to each other. The measure of angle 3 and 7 are equal to each other, and 4 and 8 are equal to each other. Okay, so we're going to look at this, and it says classify the relationship between angle 1 and angle 7. So angle 1 and angle 7. Okay, so these are on alternate sides, so they're not corresponding. They're on alternate sides. Are they interior or are they exterior? They're alternate exterior angles. Okay, these right here, it wants angle 2 and angle 4. One is on the interior, one is on the exterior. They're both sitting on the top right-hand corner, so that means these are corresponding angles. Alexa, turn off. Sorry, guys. Sorry about that. So classifying the relationship between angle 2 and angle 6. Okay, angle 2 and angle 6. Top right-hand corner, top right-hand corner. So they are corresponding. One's on the interior, one's on the exterior. They're in the same position on the two lines in relation to the transversal. Okay, this one, we're looking at angle 4 and angle 5. They're both exterior angles, and they're on alternating sides, so they are alternate exterior angles. Okay, here. When two parallel lines are cut by a transversal, 8 angles are formed. Special relationships exist among the things. So if I look at this, okay, I'm going to go to pencil now. So if angle 1 is 105 degrees, okay, so it's in the same, I actually want to talk about something else off to the side real quick, okay? Let's talk about this real quick. Okay, this angle right here, we'll say angle 3 and angle 4. These are called vertical angles. Oops, I don't know what I was going to write. Vertical angles when two lines intersect and intersect, the angles across from each other okay When two lines intersect, the angles across from each other are vertical angles. Okay, so the other thing we know about vertical angles is the measure of angle 3 is equal to the measure of angle 4. They are equal to each other. So if I'm looking at this right here, angle 1 and angle 4 are across from each other. They are vertical angles. Okay? Angle 1 and angle 5 are corresponding angles. So they are equal to each other. Angle 4 and angle 8 are corresponding angles. They are across from each other. So 1, 4, 5, and 8 are all 105. Angle 2, it tells us, is 75. Okay, across from it is angle 3, and angle 3 is a vertical angle, and so that's why it is. So angle 3 and angle 7 are corresponding angles. Angle 2 and angle 6 are corresponding angles. So these two are 75 degrees. Okay, another one I want to talk about, not sure if you guys remember this. Okay, we'll call this 5 and 6, I don't know. A linear pair. Okay, two angles, or I should actually say two adjacent angles that form a line. Okay, that means that they are supplementary. They are supplementary. So that means the measure of angle 5 plus the measure of angle 6 should equal 180 degrees. So if I look over here, 105 plus 75, so angle 1 plus the measure of angle 1 plus the measure of angle 2, 105 plus 75 would equal 180 degrees. Okay, so in the figure below, angle 2 is 130 degrees because angle 1 and angle 2 are supplementary. Nope, I don't even want to use supplementary. Are a linear pair. Or supplementary. Okay, angle 1 and angle 3, those angles are vertical angles. And angle 4 is 130 degrees because 1 and 4 are linear pairs, which means they're supplementary. Okay, so we're going to do this. If the measure of angle 2 is 105, then find the measure of angle 6. So the measure of 2 plus the measure of angle 6 is going to be 180 degrees because angle 2 and angle 6 make a linear pair. So 105 plus x equals 180. So I subtract 105 and I get x equals 75 degrees. So that means, since our supplementary, the sum equals 180. Okay, so I just found that this is 75 degrees. Then the measure of angle 3. Well, angle 6 and angle 3, those are alternate interior angles and they have the same measure. So then that means angle 3 is also 75 degrees. Okay, so here we go. So angle 7 right here is 35 degrees. Okay, so angle 7 and angle 2, those are alternate exterior angles. And alternate exterior angles are equal. So that means the measure of angle 2 is also 35 degrees. Angle 1 plus angle 2 equal 180 degrees because they're a linear pair. So I don't know the measure of angle 1. The measure of angle 2 is 35. So I'm going to subtract 35 from both sides and get x equals 145. 145 degrees. So the measure of angle 1 equals 145 degrees. Okay, so here, angle 1 is 40 degrees. Okay, so some of you are like, oh, that's too much information. I can't do it. My brain hurts. So let's write it like this real quick. Okay, this is 1, 2, this is 10, this is 9, this is 3, this is 6. Okay, this, I'm going to do this. This whole angle is angle 4, 4, I don't want to even do that. 4 and 5. This angle right here are angles 7 and 8. Okay? So now let's look at it. Angle 1 is 40 degrees. So if this is 40 degrees, okay? So that means that angle 9 is 40 degrees because those are vertical angles. Angle 1 and angle 3 are corresponding angles, so they're the same measure. Angle 9 and angle 6 are corresponding angles, so that makes that 40 degrees. Now the measure of angle 10 plus the measure of angle 1 equals 180. So that means the measure of angle 10 plus 40 is going to be 180. I subtract the 40. The measure of angle 10 is going to get us 140. So this angle right here is 140. This is 140. Okay. Now, that means, how do I want to write this? That the measure of angle 7 plus the measure of angle 8 is also equal to 140 because this angle right here and this angle right here are equal to each other. They're in corresponding spots. The measure of angle 4 plus the measure of angle 5 is also equal to 140 because this part, oops, I didn't mean to hit there or do there. This right here and this right here are also corresponding parts. Okay, so now let's look back up at our picture. Our picture says that angle 8 is 90 degrees. So, oh, I should have written this down further. Okay, so we just said that the measure is 90 here. So I subtract 90. I get the measure of angle 7 equals 50 degrees. So that means this part is 50. let's look at this. Shh. These two are vertical angles. So that means that this is 50 degrees. These two are vertical angles, so that means that's 90 degrees. So now we have all of the angle measures. This is 140, this is 40, this is 40, this is 40, and this is 140. There you go. So let's do it down here with this one. So angle 7 is 125. Okay? So again, I'm going to draw over here. This comes this way. Oh, I don't want that one. I want this line. Okay, this is 7, this is 8, 9, 10. This one is 3. This one is 6. This is 1 and 2. This is 4 and 5. Okay? So, if this is 125, this is 125 because they're vertical angles. This is 125 because those are corresponding, and this is corresponding to 7. Okay? Then the measure of angle 8 plus the measure of angle 7 equals 180. And I know the measure of angle 7 is 125. So the measure of angle 8 equals, oops, I forgot to actually subtract it. So that's a 5, that's 55 degrees. So this is 55. Angle 10 is a vertical angle. 8 and 3 are corresponding angles, and 10 and 6 are corresponding angles. Okay, so now we just have to do 1 and 2, and 4 and 5. Now 4 and 5, if I look at 4 and 5 right here, I don't want to do that color. If I look at 4 and 5 right here, that whole thing is 125. The whole thing is 125. So the measure of angle 4 plus the measure of angle 5 equals 125. Well, we know angle 5 is 90. So I subtract 90 from both sides. I get the measure of angle 4 equals, that's a 5, that's a 35. So this is 35 degrees. What's across from it as a vertical angle is 35. Across from angle 5 is 90 degrees. Okay. The measure of angle 1 is 16x. The measure of angle 2 is that. Okay. So angle 1 and angle 2, those are corresponding angles. Okay, so if you want to look at it outside of this, okay, angle 1 is here and angle 2 is here. Those are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are congruent to each other. So that means I would take 10x plus 30 equals 16x and solve. And 5 is equal to x. So if I plug that back in, the measure of angle 1 is going to be 16 times 5, 80 degrees. So that means angle 2 is also 80 degrees. Now we need the angle 3. So this is 80, this is 80. So the measure of angle 3 plus 80 equals 180. I subtract, and I get the measure of angle 3 is 100 degrees. Okay, so here we have the measure of angle 1 right here, and the measure of angle 2. That's what we've been given. Those are alternate exterior angles, so again, those are equal to each other. So I take 5x plus 24 equals 7x, and I solve. 24 equals 2x, divide by 2, get 12 is equal to x. Okay, so the measure of angle 1 is equal to 5 times 12 plus 24. So that's going to get me 60 plus 24. So the measure of angle 1 is equal to 84 degrees.